Welcome back to Justice. We continue tonight with our big story, the release of this explosive memo and the continued fallout. Here with her take on it all, conservative columnist and best-selling author Ann Coulter. All right, Ann, I want you to take a look at this. We've got MSNBC Rachel Maddow.
That's it. That's all they've got. This is what all the hype was about? For what is it, 2 weeks now they've been hyping this? I will admit to being shocked that this is what they released. It was just kind of like a sad trombone. We only bring that out for very special occasions.
So you have a memo that's been declassified, and in the memo they say that Andrew McCabe used a document that he said he couldn't have gotten a warrant without, that was full of lies, and he didn't tell the court about the bias of individuals involved or that a candidate paid for it. Your take?
Well, for one thing, we now know what complete liars the Democrats and all of these hysterical, alleged national security and law enforcement experts are about, oh, it's going to blow up any sort of, we'll have terrorist attacks. What will we do if this memo comes out? And then it comes out, oh, that's all it is. Well, there were people who had seen the memo, who knew what the information was. And I think at this point, their argument is the fact that and by the way, it makes me totally love, and I think it makes most Americans love Trump even more. It really, It illustrates the point that it was always Donald Trump against both the Republican and the Democratic Party. It is Washington, D.C. against the people. And when you see the way high-level officials, not, as everyone has said, the rank and file, but high-level officials at the FBI were using documents funded by the Hillary campaign, someone who hated Donald Trump and didn't want him elected. And by the way, who started the whole Russia investigation? I don't think a big enough point has been made of this. It was Peter Strzok. Right. He was the one who started the investigation. He's the one who's texting with his mistress. But I do think that Rosenstein probably, there are two separate issues. One is the Rosenstein, the civil liberties violations.
Right.
And I think Rosenstein should probably go. I don't know why Trump was ever...
You think?
Why was Trump ever hiring members of the swamp to begin with? I'm kind of mad at Trump for that. There are plenty of lawyers out in America who went to Harvard, too. You didn't have to move somebody over from the swamp, so he deserves what he gets. But now that he's found out, he should fire Rosenstein. Mueller, however, he hasn't done any of this. The danger with Mueller is he's looking like Patrick Fitzgerald. Remember the one independent counsel we had?
Yes, I do.
There was no crime.
Right.
And so all these people on TV keep talking about a perjury trap. They obviously have not the first idea what a perjury trap is. It's not just putting someone under oath when, ooh, you know what the truth is, we think this person is going to lie. No, it's when you are putting people under oath when there's no crime. Yeah. And that's what Patrick Fitzgerald did. He found out there was nothing illegal about revealing a name, and then he puts all these people under oath. Somebody disagrees. And you find, and so if there is no crime here, and it's looking like there's no crime, remember that the entire Russia argument, the entire Russia collusion argument, comes from these four members who, they weren't members of Trump's staff. They were hangers on mostly. It's Roger Stone, great guy, but he keeps offering to testify publicly.
Let's try to.
You have Carter Page.
Carter Page, Papadopoulos.
You have Sessions and Papadopoulos. Every single one of them has fallen apart, and all you hear them say on the other networks and the Democrats is, well, this could be part of an obstruction of justice. Well, number one, no, if there's no crime, he shouldn't be putting anyone. But
and
number
collusion,
two,
by the way, is not a crime.
You can't put 0 + 0 + 0 together. So at this point, I think we have a reason to ask, what is it that Mueller's investigating? The whole thing was smoke and mirrors created by the swamp.
Okay, it's not just smoke and mirrors created by the swamp. It is worse than that. It's going to one of the highest courts in the country.
Right.
And I would think that the judge up there, because look, if someone came to me, a cop came to me and said, hey, Judge, I want a warrant. I put him under oath. He swears to this and that, and he's pulling the wool over my eyes, I'd have his badge. That's the end of it. You don't do that. How is the judge and the court tolerating this? And how is, if you got James Comey going in for an extension on the warrant after he's just told the president's unverified, then how do you go before a judge and get an extension on an even higher level of probable cause?
And Rosenstein himself. No, but the civil liberties issues, I do think, are different from the Russia collusion story by itself.
Right.
it just seems to me both of them are falling apart. And the argument that is being made on the other side is, oh, no, the sleazy, unverified dossier, that was just one of lots of evidence. That's why it's out of context. It's out of context. So, okay, can't the president declassify the entire thing? I think he ought to.
He can, but you know, I think he's worried about making interjecting himself in this.
No,
here's the
this
thing.
is corruption.
If they had other evidence that supported the wiretap, why put in the dossier that's full of lies? If you really had other evidence, why is the dossier? Why did Andrew McCabe swear that it was it?
And also, I think very importantly, why hasn't why are you bothering with the Manafort stuff and the little cheap stuff if they have proof that Carter Page was conspiring on behalf of Donald Trump to inject millions of dollars into the campaign? Well, we would have indicted the president already.
Well, but here's the thing. Carter Page is walking around because he hasn't done anything, apparently. And you got Manafort indicted for something that is fruit of the poisonous tree, for which he should move to have the charges.
But also is not
Coulter.
collusion.
It's not collusion and Coulter. Thanks. We could go on for an hour.